You really just can't get to the life you want if you're not a good steward with what you have responsibility and dominion over now. Welcome back to the Humaning Well podcast. My name is Amber Cabral. Thank you for joining me today. So this episode, I kind of went around about how to record. I actually even shared with some of y'all, I think a few episodes back, I'm going to do an episode on excellence, and I just didn't know how to approach it. And so just as a heads up, I've gone around with this. And the thing I notice is that I approach these episodes as if I am communicating with people with whom I share some foundational values. And two of the values that I feel like we share are self-awareness and a willingness to deliver well. So I figure if you're listening to a podcast called Humaning Well, you are looking to do that and have some degree of self-awareness where you may, want to apply your efforts to a space that you have observed needs a bit better humaning. I've also assumed that listeners of this pod are generally going to be trying to strive for excellence. But I want to talk a little bit about the striving for excellence one, because I've had a few experiences lately that make me feel like it's worth explaining why doing things well and trying to deliver with excellence matters to how you human overall. Okay. So a little bit about me, and anyone who knows me knows this to be true. My general way of operating is either I am going to do the very best I can at something, or I'm just not going to do it at all. I don't think that means I have to burn myself out, but I do think that if I'm going to do something, anything, I am going to try my best at whatever it is. I firmly believe that the energy that I pour into my life comes back to me. So I try to operate with excellence and with respect to my environment and to others. And this shows up in a myriad of ways. So some of the small ways are I don't litter. I am absolutely the resident in the building who's going to report problems with community areas that need attention because I live here. I'm a part of this community and I care and I want everyone to have a good experience. I change my HVAC filters on time. I make sure that my car gets the service it needs and has good tires. Bigger ways look like I deliver high quality client experiences for my job. People know when they get me, they're going to get good quality work. I pay my taxes on time. I'm a good steward with my finances and with information and with relationships. I focus on setting myself up for success by planning or organizing or cleaning up or being prepared. When things need my attention, I give my attention to those things. I finish things that I start. I honor my commitments, right? Because I know that you can't half-ass humaning well. You just can't. I generally don't half-ass anything. And the way that life can unfold its gifts to you is by you showing up to do your part to human well, to show up well, to be excellent, in all the ways that you possibly can and always doing it. Now, half-assing, you might not even think of it as that, but I'm just going to give you a few ways. It can look like you having terrible credit and doing nothing about it. And instead of focusing on fixing it, you are just riding through the discomfort of having bad credit and continuing to destroy it whenever you get something in your name. Okay. Instead of just facing it and trying to do what you got to do to fix it. Another example of half-assing it is when you do the bare minimum when you're delivering work product that has your name on it. Why? Why not commit to giving your whole self to something that literally has your name on it? Another example is only cleaning your house when you have someone coming by that you want to impress, right? This has happened to me before. People present themselves like they're way more clean and organized than they really are. It's also ignoring problems that need attention until the very last minute, or waiting until something falls apart before you feel the need to address it. And it's a much, much bigger problem than if you caught it along the way. And here's the thing, I'm not asking you to be high strung. And I also know that life isn't easy and it's not perfect. I do think it's important for us to know you really just can't get to the life you want if you're not a good steward with what you have responsibility and dominion over now. You won't get to the life you want. You're not good with what you have. And so I think of delivering excellently as letting the world know, letting the universe know, letting, God know, letting, people who trust me know that I am going to be responsible with what comes to me. And so I absolutely deserve more. Anything and everything amazing that comes into your life will be impacted by the habits you have. So if you have excellent habits, you have a fighting chance to continue to thrive. But if you don't have excellent habits, amazing things that happen to you will feel short-lived, or they'll feel not impactful, or they'll feel like happenstance and they'll be fleeting. To live a life well, it is important to not see excellence as something extra, but as a means of investing in and preparing for your own life. Okay. Excellence is a reflection of self-respect. When you deliver something with care, whether it's work, whether it's a meal you cook, even the way you show up in your relationships or friendships, it says to folks, I value myself enough to bring my best forward. It's not about perfection. It's about alignment between who you say you are and how you actually show up. I am respecting myself by doing what I said I was going to do and doing it well. All right. And other people come to expect it too. That's why excellence also builds trust. So people might forget your exact words, but what they will remember is how you consistently show up, how you're always prepared, how you're thoughtful, how you're dependable, right? Delivering well creates credibility and reliability. And those two things create opportunities, whether that's in work, whether that's in friendship, whether that's in love, whether that's in community. So you are ultimately building your reputation when you deliver with excellence. Excellence is also contagious. When you raise the bar for yourself, the people around you feel that energy. Excellence signals possibility. It's inspiring. Okay. It makes other people want to do better too. I've even shared with y'all in this podcast that I had a boyfriend who used to call me Gold Bell Bam because he's like, you walk into everything expecting that things are going to be done well. And you don't even see it, but people literally rise to the occasion, like right in front of you. And it's true. Like I don't always see it, but like I do expect excellence. And most of the time I get it. All right. I do get it. And I'm sure it has to do with the fact that I show up with the expectation that it's going to happen. Excellence also requires energy management because it's not about overworking. I'm not asking you to do more and more and more and more and more. I'm asking you to do better. And I'm asking you to deprioritize the things that you're not going to do well, right? Burnout isn't excellence. Excellence is about making wise choices, pacing yourself, saying no when you need to, protecting your bandwidth so that like whatever you are doing carries gravity and intention. Get rid of the stuff you're just not going to do well. Stop doing it. Okay. But the things that you're going to do them great. Do them with excellence. And the trick is when you deliver excellently, there is a point where so many things become so much easier because you're prepared, right? And life has a rhythm. And when you deliver with excellence and you operate in that, you are making space for that rhythm to work for you. If you're sitting in the midst of like a life right now that is ripe with less than excellent circumstances, this conversation might feel really lofty, but I want to encourage you to just start by starting. Like just start, right? Your life isn't going to flow 100% better tomorrow, but it all begins with the steps you take today and then the next day. And then you build upon those, right? Because that's how you get closer to the life that you want to experience for the rest of your life. You deliver well. And so a few things that you can consider if you're just starting out with like, ooh, I do want excellence and I got some stuff to clean up. Figure out where in your life are you phoning it in, where you could really apply a bit more care or thoughtfulness or excellence. And honestly, do you want to apply your energy there or do you want to just let it go? Stop committing to stuff because you feel like you have to. Commit to the stuff that you're going to do well. All right. Second, what does excellence look like for you today? Not yesterday, not 5 years ago, not 5 years from now, right? But like right now in this current season of your life, what would help contribute to your experience of excellence? It could be simple, as in, I'm going to make sure I make up my bed every morning because I like to get into a bed that's made at night. Or it could be bigger, like I am going to get up early and write a page of my novel before my day starts so that I can start getting this book out of my brain that I've been wanting to write for years. What does it look like for you to actually show up with excellence today? Third, how would your relationships, work, or personal goals shift if you committed to delivering with excellence consistently? How might the things that you are striving toward change a bit? What might be different? And then the last question is, how would having more high quality experiences improve your life? Because when you deliver with excellence, you get more access to high quality experiences. How would that benefit you? Because sometimes we got to think about what we're going to get out of it. All right. And so what would you be receiving that you value? Now, I also want to add that, we all know what it feels like when people half-ass with us. We've all had bad customer service. We've all bought something that didn't live up to the hype. We've all had the moment of getting into an Airbnb or a hotel that looks nothing like the photos. Okay. And if we lived in a world where at least most people tried their best, it would lighten the load on all of us. Literally. because people are doing their thing. I don't have to get into a hotel room that looks beat up because someone took the time to clean it properly. I don't have to have bad customer service because someone took the time to make sure that they delivered excellently. Okay. Excellence isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. It's about respecting yourself enough to show up fully in the spaces you occupy. It is about being responsible for what you're responsible for, no matter how small it might seem. When you operate with excellence, you aren't just checking a box. You're building a rhythm of care and consistency and trust that your life can build on. And the truth is, mediocrity costs you more than excellence ever will. So however hard it may feel, whatever mediocrity you're permitting is costing you more. Half-assing leaves you cleaning up messes, making you have to repair things, fixing broken trust, circling the same challenges over and over and over. Excellence, on the other hand, creates flow. It makes room for more opportunity, stronger relationships, a deeper sense of self and peace. So I'm going to leave you with this. Look around your life. Choose one area where you've been coasting. Ask yourself what delivering with excellence could look like there, and then take one intentional step in that direction. That's how you human well. Not by aiming for perfection, but by consistently bringing your best. Consistency, okay? That's the episode. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week.